So Red Bike is Greater Cincinnati's community bike share program. We're here to provide another means of transportation, another means of recreation, another means of getting around for the folks in this community. Before Red Bike, you could get around by car, you could get around by bus, maybe taxi, maybe ride share. Red Bike provides a whole nother way to get around and access the community using bicycles, which a lot of us haven't done since we were little kids, right? So I'm Jason Barron, I'm the executive director of Red Bike. I've been around since the beginning. So we're really excited about this new space. We've been in here since just before the pandemic, November of 2019, and it's just a much bigger space for us. So it allows us to house all of our bikes in one location. It allows us to deal with all of our inventory when we need to fix the bikes and we need to bring them into the shop to get maintenance and taken care of. It also just lets us store our parts a lot better. We've got a really well thought out kind of battery charging station. Now that we have all these electric assist bikes, we've got a lot bigger need to charge those bikes and to have the batteries ready to go. Lithium ion batteries you want to be super safe with. Obviously that's really important to us, and so we've just able to have a much better, more well thought out area for that. So Red Bike always has between about 10 and 15 staff members at any given time. Just like any company, there are people that come and go, but we generally have a pretty stable staff. We had the same staff, just recently we had the same staff for over 18 months where nobody left and nobody came on, and it was really great just to have that kind of consistency. A lot of folks that work at Red Bike really enjoy working for a mission-driven organization. We're really trying to bring a lot of fun to the community. We get to do fun things like work on bikes, like play on bikes, like go for bike rides. You get to get a lot of adults riding bikes and making funny little kid noises, which is always a blast for folks. So we think Red Bike's a pretty fun place to work, and we really like everybody that works here as part of our family, which is really great.
My name is Sheldon Belcher. I'm a senior technician here at Red Bike. I've worked for corporations and other companies for so long that when I came here, it was kind of a shock, because people, are accepting. It's easier to be yourself, especially as like a person of color. It's easy for me to let that guard down a little bit. I don't feel like I have to do any kind of code switching or kind of adjustment to who I am as a person. They're very accepting. I had little to no bike experience when I started working here as far as repairing bikes, and they've been helpful. So the community here, it helps me be able to impact the community out there.
Anything that lives in the world, whether it's a bike or a station or it's our staff that's out there servicing our bikes and stations, that's my kind of purview and responsibility to make sure that stuff works. So if it doesn't work, that's my fault. If it works, that's also my fault. So I'm Doug Mcclintock. I am the operations manager here at Red Bike. I came from a whole line of different things. I was once in the coffee industry, did that for quite some time. I worked in the automotive engineering industry and did a lot of that stuff, but I really wanted to get engaged in a space that I love, which is bikes. And so getting into bikes was really important for me, my personal growth and a lot of important things in that space, but getting involved with it in a community aspect was really important to me. So I said, hey, where can I find a place to do that? And man, Red Bike just happened to be the place. I've been here since we started in 2014. It's been absolutely excellent. And I think seeing a company that is building something that grows itself organically within the community, providing for different types of riders to have an experience, is really something that allows me to feel connected to the work that I do, because there's a measured benefit, whatever it is, whether it's somebody who needs to get to work to deliver their food for Jimmy John's, or if it's somebody that needs to just get transportation around, or if it's someone who just wants to enjoy some time with their family. We see all those aspects, and I think that's the piece that keeps me coming back day in, day out.
We're really proud of Red Bike Go. Red Bike Go was created in 2018. It is our accessible bike share program to make sure that everybody has access to Red Bike. Red Bike is already a subsidized nonprofit organization, but we still wanted to make sure that everybody felt like this was something they could do all the time. So it's pretty simple. It's a $5 monthly membership fee for anybody 200% of the federal poverty guidelines or below. And we're not checking tax returns, right? If somebody says that they qualify for it, that's good enough for us. And it makes sure that everybody has a chance to ride. And we've had some great response. We always have a lot of members in the Red Bike Go program. We pretty consistently keep around anywhere from right around 150 to 200 members in Red Bike Go, especially in the warm riding months. And they use it all the time, right? So last year, in 2021, over 19% of all Red Bike rides were taken by members of the Red Bike Go program. And that's a number that you don't see in many bike share systems around the country. So it's something we spend a lot of time on, we spend a lot of effort recruiting people and making sure they have a good riding experience, and we're incredibly proud to make sure that, like I said, everybody has access to Red Bike. The Red Bike Go program, we're starting to get a little bit of national recognition for it, which is pretty fun to have something you believe in and something you work hard at, and then start to get told that you're doing well at it. And so in 2020, we won a Better Bike Share Partnership Living Lab grant. And so the Better Bike Share Partnership is a foundation based out of Philadelphia that's basically dedicated to making sure that bike share systems around the country are focusing on affordability and focusing on access. We've been doing that for years, but we've now got this grant, which allows us to add some staff. It allows us to experiment with things. I mean, it's called a Living Lab grant. And so what we're able to do is to actually use Red Bike as a laboratory, to try new things, to try new ways to recruit people, to try new ways to get people riding, to try new ways to get people to allow them to sign up. And we're really hopeful that we're gonna be able to develop some strategies here in Cincinnati that folks will be able to use around the country in order to make sure that not just Cincinnatians who are experiencing low income have access to bike share, but the people around the country are getting access to bike share. So Red Bike was one of the first bike share systems in the country to add e-bikes. We got our first 100 e-bikes in 2019, and people have been loving them. The e-bikes represent about a third of our fleet, but yet they're about 2/3 of our rides. So people just are always excited to see e-bikes and to see them out riding around and get out riding around on them. We actually added 100 more e-bikes in the spring of 2020. And then we've got another bunch of e-bikes scheduled to be delivered this summer. So we're hoping that the supply chain allows those to show up, but we're gonna be continuing to add e-bikes to the fleet. And e-bikes are a real game changer for bike share as transportation. So like I said, we want folks to get around, to use bike share, to travel where they need to go. It's the most fun way to get around, to experience the community in a whole different way. But it's still a lifestyle choice, right? You still have to wanna be a cyclist, you still have to wanna go out and put a little activity into your transportation. But the e-bike really starts to make that accessible to everybody, right? Not just from an income standpoint, but from an activity standpoint. So it allows you to go just a little bit faster, so you can keep up with traffic a little bit better, which makes you actually safer. So the e-bikes allow you to get up to 17 miles an hour as you bike, and then it's governed and it cuts off. It allows you to start from the stop just a little bit quicker. So if you're at a stoplight or a stop sign with other traffic, you can keep up just a little better. Again, keeps things safer, allows things to move a little better. And then most of all, we live in Cincinnati, and Cincinnati has hills. And e-bikes will give you this boost and allow you to go up a hill much better, and then allow you to just access more of the community. So we really see them as a game changer, and we're gonna continue to add e-bikes to our fleet. And we're hoping that that will get more and more people riding bikes and more people excited to use active transportation to get around and to kind of fill their daily needs.